Hi guys, this is Notes 58. So I know you have a blank screen on yours, so you're just going to write down what you think is important to you. So some of this might seem obvious, some might be new. You're just going to take notes like you would anyways. So we have part one, which is radical equations. So to solve radicals, we isolate the radical. That means get the radical on one side of the equation. And if the problem contains more than one radical, you get the radicals on opposite sides. So that means like if we have this, x minus 2 equals x square root of x, like that, we're good because we can square both of them and cancel out both. Okay? That being said, if we have something like square root of x plus square root of 2x minus 4 equals 0, we'd want to move one of these to the other side by subtracting. So not going to get that complicated today, but just in case you see that later. All right, so after we get the radical by itself, we're going to raise each side to the appropriate power. That means if we have a cube root of x, in order to get rid of it, we would take it to the third power. And that would cancel each of these. Obviously, what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. Then the last piece is we're going to solve it. We're going to check our solution and then see if there's any extraneous solutions. So we'll talk about what that is if we get to it. So if we look at these ones, they have one radical in them. And we're going to isolate the radical and solve it, and then be sure to check our solution. So for this one, we want to get the square root by itself. So I see the minus 1 is outside the square root. Square root ends right here. Right? And so I'm going to add 1 on both sides. Give me square root y minus 2 equals 6. From there, I know that this is a square. So if it's a square root, the opposite of squaring. From there, I have to, what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I can cancel each of these. It gives me y minus 2 is 36. I'm going to add 2 on both sides. I get an answer as y equals 38. I want to check and make sure that this works in my problem. It will not work for all questions. So I want to make sure that this answer is going to fit back in here, rather back in this location when we check it out. So I'll put it back in. I would say square root of 38 minus 2, and then minus 1 should be 5. So square root of 38 minus 2 would be 36. Square root of that is 6. 6 minus 1 should be 5, and that is true. So I know that this is a correct and checked answer. Awesome. Let's get out of this yellow color. Sweet, that was number 1. So we can do the same thing for number 2. Take a stab at solving 2 on your own. You should get, let's see, go ahead and solve this on your own as I solve it. I've got 258. See if you've got that as well. We'll come back to these at the end of the video if you need them. So if we look at number 5, we're going to skip numbers 3 and 4 for now. They're not in your paper, so obviously you can number this whichever one you want. But here, for this round, I see my 6th root, so I want to get that by itself. First thing I'm going to do is add 4. That gives me 7. 6th root, 5m plus 4 equals 14. I know that this is multiplication, so I'm going to divide on both sides. I get my 6th root, 5m plus 4 equals 14 divided by 7 is 2. If I'm going to get rid of a 6th root, I need to take it to the power of 6. So take this to the power of 6 as well. It's going to cancel 6th root and 6, leave me with just 5m plus 4 equals 2 to the 6th power, or 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Thank God I have exponents. That would be 64. So here, subtract 4 on both sides. Get 5m equals 60. Divide by 5. Sorry about that. M equals 12. From there, I want to make sure that I check my work. So I'm plugging it back into the original equation way up here. So I have 7 sixth root of 5 times 12 plus 4 minus 4, hopefully, is 10. So if I look at this, I would say this is 60 plus 4, which is 64. The sixth root of 64 is 2. 2 times 7 minus 4. 2 times 7 is 14. Minus 4, whoops, minus 4 will give me the 10 that I want. So this is correct and checked. Nice. All right, so far all of our answers have checked out, and that's great. I don't want to stop doing it, but I do have seen that they've all worked so far. You can go ahead and try number 6 in the same way that we tried number 5. If you're ready to jump off from here, you can find number 2 and number 6 and then jump back into your IXL. Thanks, guys. If you want to see number 2, I would subtract 1, both sides, gives me square root of x minus 2 equals 16. Square both sides, I get x minus 2 equals 256. I'm going to add 2 on both sides. I get x equals 258, which is what I saw here. I want to check it in my original version here. So I have square root of 258 minus 2 plus 1 should give me 17. 258 minus 2 makes 256. Square root of that is 16 plus 1 would be 17. That is correct. And checked. Nice. And then here, I'm going to add 4. 9 cube root of 3h plus 3 would be 81. I'm going to divide by 9 on both sides. I get cube root of 3h plus 3 gives me 9. In order to get rid of a cube root, I need to use a cube. Take a cube over here. Cubes and cube roots cancel, leaves me with 3h plus 3 equals 9 to the third is 729. Subtract 3 on both sides. 3h is 726. Divide by 3. H equals 242. I can plug this answer back in here. And when I do that, I see that it checks out. And I can